welcome to Nina's Knots Crochet. I'm Lynanne. If you're new here, hey, thanks for stopping by and checking out my channel. My channel, well, it's all about crochet, a little bit about knitting, about yarn. Mostly it's about my journey in this fantastic yarny community. Returning subscribers, thanks so much for coming back, spending a little bit of your Friday with me. We made it to the weekend. Woohoo! Today, I got a Boggy blanket to show you. I did get my one Boggy blanket done for this week. And we're going to talk about the Crystal at Bag O' Day Shawl along, at least from my opinion. So, let's start with what I'm wearing. This is just a V-neck pullover. I don't even remember the pattern. I made it out of cotton bamboo last year. It's just a light, lacy pullover V-neck that this shape for this spring into summer where it's chilly in the mornings. This is the perfect transition piece. Have a tank top underneath, and then when it gets too warm, this comes off and I'm in shorts and a tank top. And I have every intention of making another one of these if I can find the right yarn. I don't want it to be too heavy. Somebody asked me the other day what I had this out for. And this is Yarn Bee Stitch 101, which is a 50-50 acetate and modal. It's a number 4. I was thinking about making a tank top out of this, but I think this will be too heavy. I wanted something a little bit lighter weight, but my plan is with this, I'm going to make another one something similar to this. Another lacy, open pullover to wear over a tank top. So that's what this was out for. This color is apricot. This has been discontinued by Hobby Lobby. I got it on their clearance. There's 180 yards in each one of these. I have 4 or 5 of these. I'm sure I can make something lacy and pretty with all of this. So that's why this was out, but it's been put back in the corner because it's not what I was looking for. I want to make a solid color tank top. There's a tank top that Jackie from Crochet ADHD picked out in her list for the season. It's called the Borderline tank top, and I got the pattern. I want to do it, but I want to do it in something like a cotton linen or cotton, like this cotton bamboo, something a little bit lighter weight. And I currently don't have anything that I mean, I have this Friends wheels from Hobie, but I want it in a solid color, and I only have one of each of the pink colors. So I have this pink, and then the light pink, and I don't want to stripe it or color block it. I want it to be a solid color. So I don't know what I'm going to do. And if my husband's listening, I might have to order some yarn, but I might not. I don't know. I don't want to use 100% cotton because it'll stretch out, which I have a lot of 100% cotton. I would really, really like to use some cotton and linen blend, but I don't think I have any left in any enough solid colors. So I don't know. And I don't want to do it in bamboo because I already have this in bamboo, and I do have plenty of Kubu, but I think that'll still be too heavy. I want something lightweight. I'm in Florida after all, and it gets really warm here. So yeah, that was the original reason that I had pulled that out, was to make a tank top, but I think it's just gonna be too heavy. So let's rewind a little bit. Let's do the Boggy blanket for this week. If you don't know what I mean by a Boggy blanket, I am part of the Boggy Blanket Brigade with Nancy at She's Got Yarn Too. Lynette is Charmed Grammy's Crochet, and Billy the Crafty Floridian, although Billy has kind of stepped back this year. We're doing a blanket drive for Camp Boggy Creek in Eustis, Florida. If you've heard all this, fast forward. I don't have a problem with that. Anyway, last year I asked subscribers to send me some squares and that I would sew them together and make a few blankets. Well, that exploded and I have thousands of squares. And I am still making blankets with those. Last year I did, I think, 33 or so, I think around 30 blankets I did. And this year my goal is to make one a week, if not more, until we go probably sometime in February. So, and we will be collecting blankets, I believe, in August. So if you're making yours now, you know, your whole blankets, good for you. Hang on to them. Nancy will tell you when she's ready to start collecting them. If you're making squares, and I saw somebody comment on another podcaster's channel that she has 100 squares ready to send to me. No, I am not taking 100 squares from individuals. My thought process for this whole square drive was because it's so expensive to ship. And if you wanted to be part of the Boggy Blanket Brigade, a Boggy Babe, and if you wanted to send me 5, 6, 7 squares in a small envelope that would cost you, you know, no more than a cup of coffee, that I would take all those and put them together and make a blanket. Well, some people just emptied their squares and sent me hundreds of squares. I have thousands of squares still to get through. And that wasn't what I had intended this for. I'm not mad about it. I don't mind that I have these squares to put together. I have given some of these out to some square elves who are working on them. And I think I'll be giving out some more to a couple more elves, which is great. But when I saw that comment on another YouTuber's channel that this woman has 100 squares to send to me, no, not doing that again this year. No, we are limiting it to 20 per person. But we are also putting the caveat on it that I want you to send me your fun squares. And I'm going to put together a video here coming up pretty soon. I'll get it out. I've been doing some research on different patterns with different fun squares that would have, let's see if I can find something. How about this one with a little kitty cat on it? You know, that was probably just a plain white square that they put that applique on. Or look at this square here that is like a sunburst with some puffs on it. Or let's see, where's some of the other ones? Look, here's our heart. And this one's kind of a 3D heart. Or a circle to a square. And in fun, bright colors. Like this one, I love this one with the really bright color surrounded by the green. Those are the things that I'm looking for this year because I have still lots and lots of plain squares. Lots and lots and lots of plain squares. Check out this one here, this red, white, and blue one that's a corner to corner, then done, you know, with the border. Those are the things that I'm looking for to add to the hundreds of plain ones that I already have. So anyway, this is this week's Boggy blanket. I saw most of it already. And it's just a fun blanket. I bordered it, or I sewed it together with white, and then I bordered it with purple, just to be different. You know, that's the beauty of these square blankets that I'm putting together. No two are ever going to be alike. It's just a fun mismatched, squished together compilation of different squares with different personality and different yarns to make something really unique and fun for these kids to take home as a souvenir of their trip to Camp Boggy Creek. So that is this week's Boggy blanket. And then when I get ready to do the square drive for this year, keep in mind I'm taking 20 squares per person, and they have to be 5 by 5 inch squares, not bigger and not smaller, because they won't fit if they aren't 5 by 5. I was going to go bigger this year, but because I still have so many 5 by 5, I have to keep it at that in order to get through that stash. Once we're through with all of those, then we'll go to a bigger size. But for now, for this year's drive, for 2024, 2025, I need 5 by 5 squares with your funnest, cutest little things on them, and 20 per person. That's how we're going to leave it. So, that's Boggy Creek. What else is going on? So, my new Swift came in yesterday, so I caked up the yarn that I had picked out for the Bag O' Day shawl along. Isn't that pretty? I love these colors together. And then I added this one in, and this one is Cherry Hill Tree, or Cherry Hill Tree. This is their lace weight Angora and wool. It's the color is called Serengeti, and it's the grays and the creams and some red and yellow. It really does match well with these colors. And I have this dark that I'm going to do also, and the solid colors are Swan Lake that I picked up on Temu, and it's cashmere wool and Angora blend, but it is really, really fine lace weight. I couldn't do the shawl with it. It was just too fine. I'm gonna have to find something else to do with that, something else just as beautiful. And I have to tell you guys, I watched the first video and I could only get through the first 4 rounds, and I could barely get through that. I don't know what it is about this particular tutorial. I see people, they are flying through it. And it's not that it was difficult, it was very basic. There's something off about that tutorial, and I wasn't in the right headspace, so I have decided I'm not gonna worry about that one for a while. That particular shawl, and like she said, once it's out there forever. I'm putting that on the back burner for now. I can't. I don't know what it is, but for me personally, it just seems a little hesitant and choppy, and I'm not. Actually, it was stressing me out to watch that first video, and I do have a lot going on, so I think I need to be in a better headspace in order to do it. So I'm putting that on the back burner for a while. I'll come back to it sometime, maybe this fall, but for now, the Crystal Bag O' Day shawl has gone in permanent timeout until things calm down a little bit. So with that said, I've got to pick up something else to do, because you know what? I gotta have something to do. I gotta have at least 3 projects on my hook at all times, because I like to bounce between the 3. And I still have my test pattern that I'm working on, which is coming along so great. I cannot wait to show you. I'm getting ready to split for the second sleeve right now. I just started the column that will split for the second sleeve. So then once you do that, I think you move on to, you have that column and then another column, and then you move on to the sleeve. So it's getting there. I have till May 17th, and I don't think I'll have a problem meeting that deadline. And then I already told you that I'm taking the hip to be squared squares with me on my trip next week, so those I'm not doing. I am working on my lighthouse shawl. I ended up actually taking this with me to the doctor's office. It was the first time in ever that I actually crocheted in the doctor's office while I was waiting for Tom. He had to have some tests done, and one of them took like 45 minutes. So I'm like, well, I'll just take my crochet, and I worked on it. So this is a Tunisian crochet shawl that I'm working on. It's going to be shaped like the Agatha's Reading shawl. It's a really cool shape, and the last time you saw it, I was right here. I put this much on in the last day or so, and I love this yarn. This yarn is so soft, and I lost the balls. Where they? Over there. This is Offbeat by Universal Yarns. It is so pretty. This is a 90 acrylic, 10% alpaca. Each cake has 586 yards. And so my plan is, I'm altering her pattern just a little bit. I'm going to use one whole cake for the wing, and however big that gets, then I'm going to do a second cake for the flat section, and then one whole cake on the decrease section. So I will use all of these and have all 3 of them into this one shawl, so there shouldn't be any left over. But I really love how these colors are coming out. I think it looks really pretty. And so that was what I worked on in the doctor's office on Wednesday. So now I just need to pick out one more project to do. Something, because the test pattern is something I have to really pay attention to and really, watch my P's and Q's. I'm looking for something that is, almost mindless. I'm almost tempted, I'm thinking about making a continuous granny square, but making it with my pickle jar. And just like, have you seen, what's his name? Russ at It's Raining Yarn. He just pulled some out, added it on, pulled another one out, added it on. Think about doing maybe something like that, because that's a mindless, you don't have to think about it, and then when you're done, you just have a huge ass blanket. Who knows? We'll see. Anyway, you guys, I'm going to let you go. That's what's going on around here. I'm going to be working on this, picking out one more project, and we'll talk about that next week. Believe it or not, my Judy's Creations and Crochet cowl is done. My turtle is done. So I can't wait to show you those on Monday for Make Along Monday. Yeah. Like I said, we're leaving Wednesday. We're leaving Wednesday morning early and heading home. So my crochet over the weekend is probably not going to be a whole lot because I got to pack and get the motorhome. I mean, the motorhome's ready. I just got to, it's dusty because it's been sitting there for months. I just got to go in and dust it out and make sure that the water's filled and the propane's filled and, all the things you have to do to get ready for a trip. That's what I'll be doing this weekend. So I hope you all have a great weekend. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, being kind to yourself, and giving yourself some grace. But above all, be kind to everyone, and we'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend.